crochet all the way across this row while we talk about Gabby Petito. If you haven't heard about Gabby Petito, I am talking about her today to raise awareness because she is missing. She is a missing 22-year-old girl. And I am going to tell you a tiny bit about her. She is engaged to a man named Brian, and they were living with his parents in Florida. And she owned a Ford van that they were traveling across the country in on a cross-country trip. I believe they left in July from New York, which is where she's originally from. And they were traveling many places, but they stopped in Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming. They know for sure. I believe she was on her way to Yellowstone, but no one's really sure if she made it there or not. At some point, she was in the same location as two other women who were murdered around the exact same time that she was there. And the circumstances around those murders are unsolved and suspect. There was talk that the two women that were murdered were nervous about what they considered a creepy man. And there's no real word on whether or not the cases are related, but it is similar timing and does seem pretty suspect. So, they think, based off the last time she spoke to her parents, that she went missing in Utah. But they don't know if all of the conversations they had with her were actually her texting them, or if it was someone else texting them, like possibly the fiance. So there's a lot of questions. The timeline based on like what she posted on social media and what she was telling her parents was kind of different. So it's really kind of hard to say what exactly happened. They do kind of have a little bit of a rough timeline. And at some point during the trip, there was an argument between the two that resulted in a stranger calling the police and reporting a domestic violence incident between the two. According to the police report, they considered it more of like a mental health crisis, but in my opinion, it seems like they might have failed her because she was very upset and it sounded like he was fighting with her over her cell phone, which led to her getting locked out of the car and then crawling back inside and trying to get a hold of the keys and the phone and such. But the cops kind of let it go and let them go on their way. And that was, and then a few days later, he flew back to Florida some point, she stops communicating with her family around the end of August. And by September 1st, he has driven her van, because the van belonged to her. He had driven her van back to his parents' home in Florida, where he immediately got a lawyer. And his parents and him are not speaking to anyone, including law enforcement or her parents. Her mom has said that she had called both of them, his mother and him, several times, but they would not answer. And a police report was filed in New York on September 11th when they were finally able to report her missing, because she was originally considered to be on vacation. So I think that kind of held things up a little bit. Now, the van is hers, but she is not around to report it missing, so they can't really do anything about that. I think they have done some forensic testings on the van, but we don't really know any details on that. Most importantly, they are going to Yellowstone and Utah to look for her, but they don't really know what they're looking for or where they should be looking, because he won't tell them any details about where they last were or where he last saw her or what happened. So it's kind of difficult for her family to figure anything out or know what kind of path to take, because he's not telling them anything. Shady. That's kind of the only thing they know and the only details they're sharing. The parents, rightfully so, seem incredibly angry, as any parent would be. Reporters are stalking out his parents' home in Florida. Her parents are split up, so her dad and stepmom live in Florida, about 3 or so hours away from where she was living at the time, and the mother lives with her stepfather in New York, which I believe is like Long Island. The police in Florida, which I believe is North Part, is taking over the case with the FBI. So there's a lot of places you can submit tips, like to that specific police department and to the FBI. They have a website, they have a phone number, they have actually a lot of stuff going on. They also have a Twitter page for the police department that you can follow them for updates as well. Uh-oh, my yarn is stuck. Hold on. Okay. So, they have a Twitter page where they're updating people. There's also a Facebook discussion page for like theories. I believe there's like a Reddit page for some theories. One thing I forgot to mention is her social media account. Her captions keep being changed, and her account was disabled and then re-enabled, and her parents said that they were not responsible for that. So I don't know if he has control of her social media or what's going on exactly. Shady. But it's not looking good for Brian. I haven't shared Brian's last name because I don't think he deserves any of the attention. If he did do something, he could kind of be seeking attention or want followers on his Instagram. And I don't think we or a second video that got deleted, but I don't really know because I didn't see that with my own eyes. Hard to say. But we need justice for this girl, and I think one of the main things we need to do is put a lot of pressure on him and his parents and keep it trending, because that's the only reason, or that's the only way I believe that he's going to talk, is if he continues to feel guilt and pressure and, you know, reporters sitting outside the home and all that kind of stuff. If that doesn't continue to happen, then, you know, he's just gonna, I guess, sit in his home until he's charged with something. I don't know exactly what the police, what they can do if they don't have any evidence to charge him with a crime. So it's going to be pretty difficult, which I'm sure he knows that. He has a lawyer already, and he's had a lawyer since before he was even in the spotlight, so it's pretty interesting. Shady. So I just can't imagine being the mother of a child, you know, who's in their 20s and going on vacation with their long-term boyfriend, and then this happens. It's like crazy. But his Instagram posts were pretty interesting, and in my opinion had a lot of red flags. So I feel really bad for everybody involved. It's terrible. I am going to just briefly show you how this hair bow is going to work. I'm going to stop this row so you can see. Let's see. There we go. This will become a square, probably about that big. The pattern says to do about 18 rows. I already did one of these, and 18 rows, in my opinion, was way too much to make a hair bow. So I'm going to probably do about 10 to 12 rows. I might put like a lacy border. The pattern does have a lacy border, but I'm not positive I'm going to use it. And then I am going to cinch the center and wrap yarn around it and tie a really tight knot. I'm going to cinch the center, and then it'll be a bow. So, as always, subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share this video with anyone that you think could have any information about the disappearance of Gabby Petito, and share it with anyone that you think might enjoy this content. I will see you Friday with something new. Maybe we'll have an update on this incident. Maybe we'll do some more positive affirmations. Comment below what you'd like to see next week. Okay. Happy crocheting. Have a great week.